figure out what their next act in their life is, and that is for them to live the life of significance, right? That's what I want to help them to do. Well, why do they trust us? Well, that's because, you know what? You cannot know everything. You cannot know everything. Okay, but we do our best we can to educate them. So therefore, right, before people go out and make decisions on things like that, make sure that you're educated on it. And how can you, I mean, look, in today's day and age with the technology we have, all the informations are there. You can Google pretty much anything, right? And for you to eventually find people, right?
So I'm with you on knowing what you know. Like my dad always said, invest in what you know and do what you know best.
Mm-hmm.
And if people focus in on building a company and then they focus in on the right people around them, building their wealth on another side, on the extra income that they can invest.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense for me because people, it's kind of like football players are football players. Most NFL players don't go into another pro sport.
Right.
I mean, you play one sport, you're good at one thing at the highest level to create the best results because it's very difficult. Like me as an MMA fighter, some other guys I fought, they were wrestlers or kickboxers, but they weren't good necessarily at the other things because you can only spend so much time building and focusing on certain things to be as good as you want to be.
Right.
Do you find that people are starting to wake up to how to invest, how to save versus I think this last like 30, 40 years, a lot of it was, major credit card debt, which really drove people to, have challenges.
Yeah. So, personally for me, the people that I work with are pretty much in a different marketplace because these are people that own businesses, they're successful, they have money and so forth. Okay. So in their area, you don't see much of that, but you know what? I still think a lot of people don't really understand, how to save or how to manage their finance because if you look at most of the young people, I mean, everything is so easy to buy. Everything is instant, right? I mean, all you got to do is just go online and just click a button, boom, you got something, right? All you got to do is have what we call the plastic money, which is not real money, but you become indebted to, right? So, in school, they don't teach you that, like you said. And I wish that in school, instead of just teaching about how to calculate things, right? Teach kids more about the importance of how to grow their asset, to grow their money, because to a certain point is very, very important because that's how you can become independent, right? So, I do agree with you, Daniel, that people do need to be informed, but all I can say is, for your audience to hear is, get educated and get good people on their side. And the way I built myself personally is I got a whole bunch of mentors. Okay, now that mentor may not necessarily be someone that may be alive that I know personally, right? But I've been into self-development since I was like 19 years old, 20 years old. So I have read a lot of books. Okay, in my days, we used to listen to cassette tapes. Okay, now kids are streaming stuff. Okay, that tells you how far the technology has come along. But in my car, I never listened to radio. I was always educating myself. You see, because the point is this: you become who you surround yourself with. Listen to that again. You become who you surround yourself with. Right? People always tell you on the negative side, guilt by association, but that's so true, right? You become who you surround yourself with. So surround yourself with the people that you want to be like. Okay? And if you don't know anyone, hey, just go on the YouTube and start, looking at different things that might be able to help you. I mean, they got so much information. So a lot of those cassette tapes, right, that I used to listen to in my days, right? I'm kind of aging myself. Okay. or even the CDs for that matter. They're all loaded on YouTube. It's amazing, man. I had to pay for that stuff. Now it's all free, right? So, earlier you mentioned to me about choices, right? It's the choice you make. And I'm going to tell you this right now. That is so true. You have a choice. You have a choice. Okay? Which choice are you going to make? By the way, there is no right way or the wrong way. Okay? It's all about what is it that you want. And don't let anyone else tell you what you want. Go with your gut feeling. Go with the sixth sense. Just follow that. Okay? And I want to kind of get back to talking to you about kids a little bit because this is super, super important. Okay? A lot of the kids, especially the kids we're talking about, those disadvantaged kids, they are misinformed. They're misinformed. They're getting all the wrong information. Okay? And so imagine if you're making a decision based on the wrong information. And the reason why is because a lot of the kids don't even bother to check it up on themselves to see if that is the correct information. Okay? Everyone today has a cell phone. I'm sure all of them have a data plan on it. Any question you have, Google it. Get different opinions. Okay? Because just because someone tells you something doesn't mean it's right. Okay? If you think it doesn't sound right, guess what? 9 times out of 10 times, it is not right. Okay? Because we all have this sixth sense to protect us. Okay? So I believe, Daniel, especially with the kids that you guys work with, man, there's several things that's important. Number one, first thing, man, love. They need love, man. Not that these kids act big, they act tough, man. But I tell you what, man, they need love. They need affection, right? They need someone to believe in them. I was one of those kids that I was always looking for approval because I never got one, right? Always looking for approval, right? But that's how the kids grow. Hey, my kids constantly did that to me when they're growing up. They always ask me for my approval. I'm their dad, right? So I did my best to encourage them. Hey, yeah, you're doing good. Don't worry about it, man. Just continue doing what you're doing. And that's all they need. That's how you build your own self-esteem, right? That's how you build confidence, right? I mean, those are so important, man. So a lot of the kids today that may get in trouble, they're not bad kids, man. Not at all. They were just misguided, right? So we can help them, right? To unmisguide them and point them in the right direction. And if you do that with compassion, right? If you do that with empathy, understanding exactly where they're coming from, right? You do that with passion because you really, really care about them. Hey, these kids, they know, man. They know if you're phony or not. They know if you care or not. They can feel you're just like that. All right? Okay? So if you can show them that, man, they're going to trust you. Okay? Once they trust you, guide them in the right direction. And I feel that's something that we have to do for our next generation because the way I believe, Daniel, our kids today are our future. So what are we doing with our future? Right? So, we talk about money and stuff like that, but to me, it's an important necessity as a survival tool to survive. But I feel that, it's much, much more than that if you can use it as a tool. So that's why, I would love to get all this. Hey, by the way, if you got a bunch of successful business guys that's out there listening right now, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you saying that, you know what, if you're already financially successful, what is your next act? Okay, what is it that you want to do? What is your life's purpose? So that you can live your life of significance. And to me, I feel that when you start helping people, right, to better themselves, when you help people, to go in a different direction, and that became their success, to me, that's huge because to me, life is about giving. I told you earlier, right? I used to take everything, man. Okay. I was independent. Okay. But having kids, coaching, man, it taught me otherwise. I can't think of doing anything else but to give because you get so much more back. I get so much more back, Daniel, because I'm able to give. I get back more than them. It feels so good, you know? So that's what I'm hoping.
Well, I believe through your message, I think I believe that people hear. I heard you, and it makes a lot of sense. Um, I'm blessed to have you on here today. Is you know amazing hearing more of your story from the beginning and what's possible with people. If somebody wants to come and check out what you're up to, where can they find you today?
Um, so I guess the best place to find me would be through like a LinkedIn page. Um, you know what? Again, I am not technologically inclined, so I don't really know what my name of the page, but you can look me up, man. Bob Kawabe. Okay.
I'll put your name in the notes right below. BOBKAWABE.
Right.
Um,
And then you know what? I'm more than happy to help in any way. You know what? My whole mission in my life, right, is that I want to make any impact that I can make for someone. You know, because if I can even help one individual, that's one extra individual I was able to help. And so yeah, and again, feel free to reach out. Feel free to ask me any questions. You know, just understand that you can do anything in this life. There's a saying. I don't know if you heard of a guy named Napoleon Hill. Again, I do a lot of reading, right? Personal development, and he has a saying here, right? Um, Whatever man's mind can believe and conceive, you can achieve. So I'm kind of getting back to the mindset again. That's what it is. And I can even tell you, even in the elite levels in athletics, like sports, right? If you want to be like a professional player and stuff, the only difference really between the guy who makes it and who does not is the mindset. Okay, at that level, man, they're all good. They're all good players. Okay, but what separates them is their mindsets and how much they want it. How bad do you want it? Okay, and so what I want your listeners to do is to ask themselves that question: How bad do you want it? And find a way to get there. And the only way that you're going to get there is through hard work. There's no shortcut. Okay, to be successful in anything you do requires hard work. Okay, if you don't work hard, you're not going to get there. But that's the difference, right? Of how bad you want it. You fought as an MMA fighter. Okay, it's more even more survival too, man. Right? You don't work hard, man. They're gonna work you.
for
Right?
sure.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get wounded, man. Right? So, I mean, that's a lesson in life that people need to know. And one more thing before I forget, I think super super important, Daniel. Always give gratitude. Always give gratitude. Doesn't matter how much or how little you have. Be grateful for what you got. You know, be grateful for your health because without health, nothing is possible. Be grateful for your family because they're the one who's going to be supporting you, right? Be grateful for your friends, the people that's close to you. Be grateful for the place you live in, because when you are grateful for everything we have, right, we become humbled, right? It grounds us back to where we need to be. So I do that every morning when I wake up, man.